Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now I wonder if you can hear the birds. It was almost so loud a little earlier on that, like machinery, you know how machinery makes a high-pitched sound, but sweet machinery, but very loud. So many birds all talking away together. So here we are in Thailand, hence all the birds, and we're at Govinda Farm, and we're happily with devotees here and with you at home. Mayeshwari Didi, I was thinking of you yesterday also. We do remember each of you. We remember all of you devotees and want to have you here with us in heart. And we do our best. They're discussing now the practicalities. They're going to do some live broadcasts so that can share, and I don't know the link yet or what name they're using, but they'll let us know presently. So I'm here with...
I'll put in the chat the links for the...
Oh, you have the links?
Yeah, I'll put in the chat in a few moments.
In a few moments. Okay. Yes. And look at Drupanuga Prabhu, just where you're sitting, you have a wonderful hairstyle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Jai Gauranga Prabhu just for a second appeared. Oh no, he's there. We're going to learn all about his job, what he's doing when he comes. You better have a good story, Jai Gauranga Prabhu, and convince us. All right. So to each of you, who are each joining up, Savitri Didi is joining up. Sara Shiromani from Salt Lake City, she's here with us and joined up. Nadia Sundari, Portugal. Jacob in UK, I believe, maybe America, I forget. Jacob. And Donna, certainly in Florida. So anyway, we're here now. We're also on Facebook, but we have one connection and we're both using it ourselves. And I won't be able to turn on Facebook. But those of you with us on Facebook, we have a clue who may be with us on Facebook Live, our regular devotees, and all who may be joining in the recorded version in both ways. We appreciate your presence. We are here to serve. Let us begin by an auspicious invocation. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Pitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vijanscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvijay Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Govinda. So more devotees have joined, and two names, actually more than two names, several names here we've been hearing over the last couple of days here in Govinda Farm, Thailand. And Sri Lekha smiling, she knows that hers is one of those names. We're waiting for the dice to stop rolling and see which face comes up on the dice. She knows what that means. Okay. And our Muktinath Prabhu, we are nearby, means you're in Bangkok. And just yesterday, I learned that Pavan has come up to Chiang Mai. So you're quite local. So Pavan Prabhu and Kamala, you are somewhere nearby in the city. So we look forward to having your presence presently. Every day is already a festival for morning program and evening program. And it's a festival for Seva as devotees prepare for the kind of official beginning. But already it's very much Navadip mode here in the Govinda farm. So maybe we can start with a word from Leelamoy Prabhu, who's right here. Perhaps he would like to say something first. We'll give him an opportunity.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Okay.
We're sitting side by side.
Okay, I'll be in your side because the mic is there.
Well, okay, as you wish.
Okay.
Okay, proof
I think it's
we're side by side. Here he is. But I'm not the cameraman. If you want to be in the picture,
I'll be there. Okay.
move yourself. Okay, you see, mobile living entity.
Dana, pranams to all of you. Good to be here with you in the presence in this virtual world full of devotees here on Zoom. Then okay, good to be here in Thailand also. Good to be back here with the devotees. It's a really nice and really auspicious atmosphere with the devotees. Where the devotees are, it's auspicious. That's the main point that our masters are teaching us. And it is a reminder that it's not where we are, but who we are with. This is really beautiful idea, this to really be aware of this, because it's not a matter of the environment, but it's a matter with ourselves, handle with the devotees, and always remind us to be tolerant, to be humble. This is the main teachings of our dear Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Shridhar Maharaj, and now our dear Madhusudan Maharaj is keeping that teaching alive. Then we are here trying to follow, and by being around the devotees, it's easier to practice this, or sometimes not, but we need to practice. Then Krishna is giving all the opportunities for us to practice here around the devotees, and when we are in our daily life outside of the temple, we need to practice every day. Remember Krishna and not forget him. That's something.
Okay, well, you can write your own purport about his comment about when we're with devotees, then we have to practice more sincerely. Anyhow, a harmonious team. Don't take his words the wrong way.
No.
And we do have a quote. We know in Brazil it is the middle of the night as we're speaking now, but we do have a quote from Srila Gurudev from Revealed Truth that Leela Shakti from Brazil, she gave yesterday. And I'm happily going to repeat it now because it's for us all. And it's Srila Gurudev in the mood of, I want to tell you something. And in fact, I think we're going to hear Gurudev saying just that. So I'm going to quote, it's a short paragraph. It's not a long thing, but just now Leela Moy Prabhu mentioning about this idea of humility and tolerance. And so here is the quote. If there is, so this is Srila Gurudev. So Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sandar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, and the book Revealed Truth Ki Jai. So if there is anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this, which is my first and best advice. So that is, avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name and Vaishnava aparad, by practicing Mahaprabhu's formula of being humble, being tolerant, and giving honor to others. So that is his first and best advice. This is what Guru is saying. If there's anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. Then Gurudev says, this is my preaching and my practicing life. And we've seen Gurudev's life. It is his preaching life. It is his practicing life. And I mean, Gurudev is saying it, but we have seen, and we're just trying to share also a little bit of that certainty of how Gurudev led his life. And then Gurudev is saying, I have received this consciousness from Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And I can see that it is completely necessary for everyone, everywhere. And then actually the one sentence, the sentence that Leela Shakti gave us was what Sri Gurudev next is saying. He says, without humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one can maintain their devotional mood. And with these qualities, everyone can proceed very easily to their spiritual destiny. So this is the short quote. And I couldn't resist but say it again just now. One or two of you heard it yesterday, but here, I also repeated it in the morning program. Here, I've got witnesses right here. So when we come across a treasure, we're happy to repeat it and to try to knock it in factually into our head, not just as a bit of knowledge. And Leela Shakti did it, yes. And Leela Shakti did it. She printed it out and she literally made a poster and she held up the poster with that last sentence. And she said, I've got this so that I can remember it always. But it's a fact. So I'll repeat that last line. And now we could say what we said to the devotees yesterday. Okay, everybody remember this one sentence, at least until the end of this Zoom. Maybe we'll ask you at the end, what was that the Gurudev said? Gurudev said, without humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one can maintain their devotional mood. And with these qualities, everyone can proceed very easily to their spiritual destination. And this, Gurudev is not saying lightly, because just before that, Srila Gurudeva said, if there's anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this, which is my first and best advice. So it is good for us all to make a poster of this. And so this morning here, we already have mentioned this, and we feel that this is the theme of our coming together, actually anywhere, but just now at the beginning of our coming together here in Thailand, we're thinking this theme must be the theme of the festival. And I had other names in mind, or I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I'm not the organizer. I am the guest. I'm here to share and be here. And they're organizing. But I had another idea. I thought it can be the festival of union in separation in love and affection. Because this is indicating to Guru Maharaj and to Gurudev. And this really is the theme of our life. We are in union in separation. We're in separation, this we know, from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. But they have taught what is union in separation. And how are we connected? It's with love and affection. And Srila Gurudev's Samadhi Mandir is called the Temple of Love and Affection. And Srila Guru Maharaj's Samadhi Mandir is called the Temple of Union in Separation, Viraha Milan Mandir. So that's just following on a little bit from what Leela Moy Prabhu was saying. And we are in Thailand, and on the news, we know some of you watch the news because I get telephone calls saying, oh, are there crocodiles and elephants floating around the Govinda farm? Almost literally, I've been asked that. Oh dear. Well, you know the news. They love to get out the helicopters and take photos of anything dramatic. And apparently 4 elephants did drown in the floods. But like in Navadip, or like in many places, the floods come and the floods go. And so yesterday we went walking and we can see where the floods have been, and some bridges are out. I mean, bridges, you could see the power of water to move. That's solid concrete. But it's all looking actually quite normal. And I was watching out of the window as we were descending and coming around Chiang Mai. Everything looked very normal. And yes, 1 or 2 diversions, but otherwise it is looking good. But in this area nearby here, 1 man died, and he died that the high tension, maybe they call it, electricity cable, 1 pylon fell down, so the cables fell onto the track, down onto the road, and 1 man, and it was apparently not the main road, it was like a village track, and 1 simple simple village man in the countryside, then he wanted to move the cable so he could go by with his little motorbike, but as soon as he touched the cable, he was completely burned, and apparently too completely burned, like practically only ashes were left, those from the high tension cable. And that brought something in my mind. And we were out walking when we were kind of hearing the news and catching up. We were out walking, maybe eight or 10 of us yesterday in the afternoon. And here's a village area, it's very beautiful and very noisy with the birds, as you can't hear unless I turn that off. Now you can hear the birds. So anyway, so we're catching up with news, and that man, yes, so he was completely fried, burnt. But it made me think that he's a village person. And really, how does he know that there's going to be so much electricity in this cable? And it came in my mind, we have to be taught everything in this world. We can't leave everything to our own experience. And we are taught from a young age, don't put your finger in the socket, in the electric socket. Don't stick a pen in the socket. Don't put a, we're taught from a young age. So we think everybody knows you don't touch a bare cable. But you cannot see electricity. You just look at a cable and then there's metal. So you can't see electricity. We do have to be taught that. And we can think, oh, I didn't have to be taught. I knew it automatically. No, you didn't. Somebody taught you, don't put your finger in the hole. So here we are, we're on the line of spiritual life to come back home. So on our line of spiritual life, we need to be told where is the current, the spiritual current, and where is the negative current, that current where you will get burned. It may look the same to us. Metal, when it's used as a pulley to lift something, as a rope, it looks the same as the metal that's used in a power cable. But we'll know, oh no, I can touch this metal, I'm using it as a pulley, but no, I can't touch that metal. So in the same way, our spiritual life, we need a guide always. We need to understand where is the positive current, where is the negative current, which is going to take us down, and where is the safe way to connect, to utilize Krishna's energy, which is the current, to utilize his energy in the proper way. So how to connect to that current? Because that current in the wire, that's going to be used somewhere. It's not just in the wire. just for the sake of having high voltage electricity in a cable. It's going somewhere, and then it will be utilized. It will be transformed to the regular voltage, and then people are plugging in their washing machines, television sets, and tablets with Srimad Bhagavatam and Guru Maharshi's writings on.
Mhm.
So we have to utilize that energy. But that did strike me, because how I was told it, that he was just a simple village man. And he saw the cable and just, oh, I better move. I want to move it. So just like that, we can also be burnt up if we go to touch some of the things which are going to be harmful for our spiritual life. But as we just heard from Srila Gurudev, if we do the right things, we can have the opposite. We can be taken in the positive direction by that energy, the personal energy, by the heart of the Lord through his devotees. So these are a couple of things from here. And otherwise, by the way, here we've come just after the rains are finished and just after the floods have gone down. And everything looks very green and like thick air, thick with oxygen, not thick with car fumes, but thick with oxygen and thick with birds, which you can't hear because I turned them off. But anyway, and all kinds of birds, including turkeys, turkeys, chickens, and what are they, goose, something goose, what are the round? And every bird thinks he's beautiful. They all have, they've got the glass doors, which are a little dark, so they act like a mirror. So it doesn't matter which bird, they come and they look at themselves very happily in that glass door. Don't tell them, they may be nearby, but the turkeys in particular, they stand there for hours looking. And to us, they look so ugly with those things down there and all. They don't use any face cream or anything like that. All bubbly, bubbly face and this long thing that falls down. But for hours, they're looking at themselves very happily. Okay, so these are a couple of reflections from here. This is back to basics. And so we can say at least some theme is that sadhu sangha, as we've heard from Leela Prabhu, to be with the devotees is so sweet, nourishing, and our necessity. And then a little word or two from me about the necessity of guidance everywhere, even in the material world, for simple things, electricity, which we cannot see. But if we don't get somebody, some good guardian doesn't give us some indication how to not touch a high tension wire and how to use the electricity in the form of, the radio, television, washing machine, etc. So a starting point here. And Chintamani, when she first came on the Zoom, it said Australia. I thought for a moment she's gone all the way back to Australia, but she's en route to Govardhan. So maybe we'll get a little glimpse of Govardhan. And here, by the way, in Chintamani Dham, the new house here at the land, at the moment, there is Giriraj, freshly arrived from Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan, and freshly arrived with Keshavananda Prabhu on the route to Latvia. The Latvian devotees are coming. And so it is happy, explaining why happy or not happy, but it is happy to worship Giriraj Govardhan. And he's here. They've got the picture of the deities and then the same height and just a little beside, a little gap, and then Giriraj, same height, and then the Parampara underneath. But it just feels so beautiful to have Giriraj directly here. And I did say to Keshavananda, now we know how it is that Giriraj Govardhan is shrinking a little bit every year. It's been given in the scripture because he brought quite a big Giriraj for Latvia. Not big like Anu Giriraj in Govardhan, of course, that would be impossible. But still, we're not allowed to measure the Lord, are we? he brought the infinite Lord from Govardhan Hill. Just see. But very sweet. And so immediately here, we're just fitting into the morning program, evening program, just as as you are doing at home. We hope some semblance of this, just as we're doing in Vila Govinda. Morning program, evening program means, as we do in Chaitanya, what is Chaitanya Saraswat Math's routine that we're doing? And the festival begins on the 19th, is it?
16th.
Oh, 16th. Okay, so it's preparation for the festival taking place. And, oh yes, and one shocking news I got was one devotee had a heart attack, but is okay now, but healthy devotee, not old, healthy, active, and not healthy in the giant size healthy. Oh, you're looking very healthy, but actually healthy in the sense of healthy devotee. And not, I don't know how old, but not so old, but had a heart attack and then was in the hospital, emergency, everything. Now, okay, but that was a wake-up call that to anybody, anywhere, anything can happen. And we know this. And so the theme on the last Back to Basics was like the urgency, every minute, every second, every moment to be used properly. We must be alert, not to waste any time. And this, when we see this, when we hear this, and it's somebody, a friend, somebody we know, then it always is more shocking than just like reading some statistics or something. And Gurudev had heart attack, and Gurudev had stroke also. So this also, and always a wake-up call, always an alert for us all. Hare Krishna. All right. Any question or contribution from anybody? Maheshwari Didi, you look like you. If it's a question, then I'm sure Sri Lekha is giving her full attention for everything. But if it's a question, maybe Sri Lekha is the one who will flow into a nourishing answer for us all to hear.
Right. Dandavats, pranams.
Dandavat.
As I've been reading, I have been wondering, where is the best place to read more about Sri Radha Devi? Radharani.
The best place is, oh, okay, yes.
Well, it's just that, in a lot of places that we read, it says, not to directly put our attention to the Lord, to Krishna, but rather to come through Radharani. And so I just thought, well, it doesn't seem like in anything I've read so far that it goes into much description of her or much depth. It's just kind of mentioned. So I wondered, is there somewhere that I can read more about her?
The answer is yes, but we must know that we are in the junior school.
Mm-hmm.
And Radharani and discussion of her service, her servitors. That is in the not only the university, but the fine specialist department of the university. So it is safe for us, especially, well, it's always safe for us. As you are saying, there is mention, but we are told we won't go in there and hear all the details.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And so actually, you've got the best advice already by what you're reading, and I can understand you're reading Gurudev and Guru Maharaj most likely, because we hear from them consistently this. But still, they do reveal some things to us from time to time, and they are in the books, and you will find not dealt with in a minute way, but very respectfully. You will find, as you read Guru Maharaj and as you read Gurudev, you will find the super nature of her and her servitors, and how we are connected with them. And we are connected with them through Srila Rupa Goswami, through Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, through Srila Guru Maharaj, through Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. So now it is fine for us to know we're in the right place. But to know all of the treasures of our family heritage, then bit by bit, that will come to us.
Okay.
And please don't be tempted to go to read books with Radha this, Radha that. And it's something which is, it's not just me. I really am stressing something that Gurudev stressed and Guru Maharaj stressed. And then the question comes, then why were these books made? Rupa Goswami and different devotees, they wrote high books. But Guru Maharaj gave the answer. Yes, they are made for the perfected person. Generally, the scripture, they are directed towards the diseased persons, us who have lust, greed, anger, who think we're the body, ego. I mean, all these things we cannot easily identify. We are in the bodily consciousness and we need the medicine. We need to get cured. But Guru Maharaj points out that, but there must also be nourishment for those who are cured. And so those who are cured are the perfect souls, rare maybe, but still they are in need of nourishment, not in medicine at that time, but in nourishment. And that nourishment is coming in these high books. But in the meantime, if you get any of these high books or you're cautious about anything, you're in doubt, put it on the top shelf and don't put any fingerprints inside the book.
There is a few pages in the songbook
Yes.
toward the end that were, very lovely. And I think, those are okay to read.
Well, there is also caution there because they are in the songbook, because Guru Maharaj and Gurudev would sometimes lead those songs. When they are leading, we are responding. And today also, I mean, not today, the date day, but we recently had Krishna Janmastami and Radhastami. And in the temple, that time when Vila Govinda Ashram, then we know these songs are there for Srimati Radharani. They're in the songbook. But we would not venture to lead them ourselves. So it's the age of the recorders. So from the phone, we've got Gurudev singing or Guru Maharaj singing. And we are playing it, and we are coming first with great respect, and then we are following just as we would with them singing and leading. So we treat all of these fine things with much caution, respect, and joy. It's not that we are being barred from something. We are being given entrance by our masters, but we must come with much caution. And we've seen this caution from Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj continually. And so, yes, you have a healthy inquiring spirit, but be careful about that cable, that electric cable.
Yes.
Not to touch the electric cable.
Okay.
I gave that example that you said about the man who's cooked burnt to ashes touching the cable, but made the point. Here's Paramananda Prabhu, our host, looking up. Where are you? Oh, you're there. I thought that was me. I thought you were me.
Oh.
Okay. This is Paramananda. He's our host here, and I think most of you know of him. But he was telling me about that man who touched the cable, but I was saying about how we need education for everything in this world. A piece of an iron
Grounded.
an iron rope, it can be used as a pulley system, or it can be used for electricity, but we need to have some understanding, what is this rope? because we cannot see electricity. So anyway, a little more than expanded, but we said that. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj.
And honestly, you will find these secrets bit by bit given by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, and always very cautiously. And thank you for asking, not just to dive in. And here, Sevarupa. Okay, Sevarupa's put that quote that we heard from Leela Shakti yesterday. The one that, if there's anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this. That's a short paragraph, and she's put in bold the specific sentence that Leela Shakti made into her own poster to knock into her head this idea. Without humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one can maintain their devotional mood. And with these qualities, everyone can proceed very easily to their spiritual destiny. Excuse me. Human body. And then Govinda Farm Festival. Oh, so you're Govinda Farm.
Yes.
Leela Moy Prabhu's identity is Govinda Farm. Oh, okay. So these are where the broadcasts will be, and I expect to be more detailed information presently. And Dana, she says, great question, was wondering the same. Yes, Dana. And yes, to all, that it is good. We are privileged to hear about Radharani, her name, and know that she is super special. But we will remember where we are, and when we get some drops of grace from Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Saraswati Thakur, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, when some of these drops come through, then we should also be very careful as we receive them as they land on our head. We don't start imagining. The point is, we can't imagine what's there. The brain can't relate to it even. So some things we have to wait until they are revealed. It is the fact. And there we are safe. We are happy. What comes? Okay, we're happy. But I'm not going to do my separate research to think, oh, I'll find out about her nature or anything about that higher plane. So Paramanand was joined, and Kelly Kadamba, Devi Rasi joined. There. She's in 2 of your videos.
True.
Yeah, she's on my left, on Leela Moy's right. There we are. Huh? And Leela Moy is, Leela Moy is also being very helpful. But what I was going to say was Kelly Kadamba, she's like the coordinator of many things here. Would you like to share something with the team?
Congrats, everybody. See who says.
The microphones here. Well, here's Sri Lanka, and we've also got, well, you didn't meet Sarah Sirumani, maybe?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
In
Oh, you
America.
met her in America.
And
Perfect.
she just came back.
The question is, why Sri Lanka is still there in the little square on the screen?
Why is Sri Lanka still there in the square on the screen? So a little poetry.
She's about to fly. Put us out of our suffering.
Yeah, we're all suffering. Don't you have any mercy for the Vaishnavas?
Is acquiring a full-fledged.
You're muted.
Okay.
That's because she can't find a suitable answer why she's still there.
Yes, there's no suitable answer for that.
So Krishna's not letting her unmute her phone. Oh, now she's covering with a thumb.
And also we have
I don't know.
Avita.
Smothering in a cushion.
You smothering me with a cushion is the interpretation of Abhinavasundar.
She's saying, can I take a cushion here? Yes, Sri Lanka, then you can take a cushion.
We
We
have a
actually have quite a
mattress.
few extra here.
You can bring a bucket, accident lounge.
And here's Rasamoy Pandita. You can see her on Leela Moy's Zoom too. Hare Krishna. Okay, any question for Sri Lekha? Oh, Sri Lekha, I didn't pass the question over to you. I am a monster. You all know that. That's okay. That question, actually. So now we need another question so that Sri Lekha can answer and turn on her microphone. We won't put you on the spot of why you're not in the sky. Who's got a question for Sri Lekha? Back to basics.
I can ask a small question.
Yes, please do.
Okay, don't know it. Just this morning, we read from Srila Siddhar Maharaj's lecture. He quotes one Bengali poet who says that I want to die in the land where I was born, in my motherland. So Srila Siddhar Maharaj says, like, we should do the same, like back to our motherland. And when you see everything try to see everything from such high perspective, like super subjective perspective, not that I understand till the end, but then everything for your subjective perspective will also be clear and so on. So maybe Shlek Haditi can tell us how to try to see through like the highest perspective possible, how to like practically try to get this consciousness of that world.
Hey. So, oh, no, I'm not Sri Lekha. Yes. Unmute yourself. Okay, good. Yes.
It's just a question that we're constantly Dandavat Vrinana and Dandavat Maharaj and Pramananda Prabhu and Kaylee Kadambana and Pandita and Leela Moy Prabhu, everybody, all the devotees. So happy to be here. I mean, we're trying to come into a different atmosphere, and it is reality. And reality is 100%, 100% sweet. But we are seeing some conflict. But I can't answer this completely, of course. We're just practitioners. But we have so many hints that we're reading daily. We're reading the books of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, and we're getting hints about this practicing life. But we're trying to, Guru Maharaj said, build our cottage in another world. And that world is has no suspicion. We were talking last night at the Friday program here in Salt Lake City. Srila Guru Maharaj says we must see the whole atmosphere as optimistic. Optimistic means it's good. When you're seeing optimistically means it is good. That's my mood. But we must make ourselves optimistic to meet the optimistic outside. That means that I need to retrain my whole vision of what's going on. And we were talking a lot about this last night, and one of our friends here, Jacob, very nice friend of ours who comes to the temple for a few years now. And we were discussing this, and that even sometimes we are thinking about something we've heard, and we're feeling a little discouraged by that, or it's kind of we don't understand what it means or how to manage that. And everything, if we can see that everything that's coming our way, it's like a sensei. Like, I would like to think of it as martial arts, a teacher of martial arts. he'll suddenly hit you sideways and take you by surprise so that we can see, oh, I need to work on this. I need to, it is coming to show me something in a very merciful way, how I will see, the way I'm seeing will change. My angle of vision will change. And simply by remembering that this is coming from my master, he's not trying to punish me, actually. Guru Maharaj said, in Krishna, there's no punishment. But he's actually coming to show me something from my own improvement. The problem that we have is with ego, because we like to have things stay the way they are, the way I like to see them. This should stay that way. And that keeps us from progressing, actually. So we're trying to become flexible to be able to move with the waves of divine will, and to see everything that's happening as that. Guru Maharaj said, we want to make our cottage there in the land of his whim, in the land of his whim. And if we don't practice that now, then when are we going to practice it? Once we get to Vaikuntha, we have to practice it now. So it's a wonderful thing and a difficult thing. But that practice has to be there. We have to see everything that's coming to me as coming from my master. Coming from my master. And why? For my progress. And why do I not want to do that? Because I don't like the idea of not being what I am now. So that's okay. We're all like that. And we're just going to keep trying. You know, in Vaikuntha, everyone is seeing the Lord as God. And God has a certain form. He has this particular way of being. We know this. Nothing is out of the, out of the ordinary. We are the worshipers of him, and he's wonderful and he's great. But in Vrindavan, he doesn't follow any rules. He's reckless. He can do whatever he wants at any moment. And there's the degree of surrender in Vrindavan is taking them into oceans of nectar that can never be found in Vaikuntha. So we're trying to make our home in the will of Krishna and trying to become flexible. This is going to take some time for us, but we know what we're trying to do and we should do it. It's not that we will surrender later when we enter into the spiritual world. No, if we want to become devotees of Krishna, the supreme, playful, reckless, whimsical Lord who can do whatever he wants at any moment, and all of every movement of his is completely saturated with sweetness, then we at least have to begin to practice this kind of flexibility. Guru Maharaj said, some straw is moving across the road. It's his will. Can we believe this? Can we believe that he's the cause of all causes? We say it, but we need to actually practice that truth. And sometimes it's bewildering, but even when we're bewildered, we can bow down and say, my Lord, this is your grace, so I am yours and it's good for me. Whatever I'm going through or whatever I'm feeling, it is good for me. Anyway, I keep seeing this again and again in Guru Maharaj's and Srila Gurudev's teachings. And you know, I feel it's very, very important. I really do. I think that it's very, very important, this inner practice. So I don't know if I made any sense or anything there, but, and I kind of have that central practice always that takes us to that whimsical person to whom we can bow down. This is the solution to every problem of every person in every circumstance and in every place. It is the one solution to all problems, is to bow down to the will of the Lord. Then there's no problem.
Okay.
But how, I don't know.
No, you may have seen us disappear, but we didn't actually disappear. We were here. Oh,
Happened again.
no. I've got an untamed mouse here that he needs to be taught something, or untamed hand. controlling
Mouse
mouse.
is out of your-
We were remembering just now also one godbrother of Guru Maharaj, and we're not sure the name, who passed away, left his body, I mean, died, whatever you like to say, but he passed away in Jagannath Puri, bowing down after hearing the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was his practice to hear every day Chaitanya Charitamrita. One student, one devotee would read to him. And then it was his practice at the end of that reading, he would bow down in the sand at the Puri beach. And when he bowed down, then he disappeared. And I heard Guru Maharaj say, and you can tell something about a person by the way they leave this world. And he was quoting that. He was mentioning about this godbrother of Guru Maharaj. So if we can leave our body, if we can be in the home comfort mood, in the home mood, then when we leave our body, we put ourselves in the hand of the Lord. But it's this laulium, this hankering to be actually at home, and not the home of our imagination, but the home of reality, the beautiful. If we have this hankering, in revealed truth also, Srila Guru Maharaj says, we must get it. If we have that hankering, we must get it. So in this way, that wish that, when we leave this world, we're going to be in our home mood. Not that we're still got to, combat all sorts of things of this material world. We have that hope that we're going to be cleanly fixed, steady, nishtha. We heard this word yesterday. Steady, fully 25 hours and more a day, just in the natural upward flow of devotional service. And another devotee, which was Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj, I believe, I can always be wrong, saying that he wanted to die in harness as a preacher, as Mahaprabhu's camp, then coming to preach, coming to people reach, coming to spread the message of Mahaprabhu's magnanimity, his glories, and that we all have access. Hare Krishna. Okay, you've revealed yourself. So are you ready for a chastisement from Paramananda? The Rai Kishori just joined there to see like that.
Already received.
But not chastisement. It's a big pull of a magnet to come here.
I can feel it. It's almost irresistible. So it may just happen. But I was pulled. Well, one, Marge, please accept my dandavat. It's beyond joyous to hear your voice. And all the other devotees, it's always the best. But something in that particular quote just particularly caught my attention. There's some notion inferred inside of it of throwing yourself, like there's no return ticket. you know, like I want to leave my body in the place of my homeland. It's not at some point in time, right? Like you were mentioning, there's nishta. There's this one-pointed attention that's starting to become clear, and everything else is starting to fade. And there is that kind of like fortitude in that sentence, right? You know, like there's different chapters on the path, right? Sometimes the path is very clear and obvious, and there's so much joy. You're going, how, you know, how could I not make it through any adversity if this is the practice, you know? And then sometimes it's becoming so vague, but something in that particular expression of Srila Guru Maharaj feels like all return tickets are completely forgotten, and a full throwing of oneself, right, in abject surrender, right? And then that home is ultimately in consciousness, right? For the fully self-surrendered person, when they're departing or not departing, who knows, that's where they are. You know, such an amazing kind of feeling. And even hearing those kinds of sentences, you feel in your heart some kind of noble ideal has been set before us, where we go, oh yes, I also want to throw myself towards that place where I can die in the motherland, so to speak. You know, very amazing kind of sentence. So I'm working on a project in the same room and heard all of these divine talks, but couldn't help myself, as you know, Maharaj.
We are happy you couldn't help yourself. And to add this additional perspective about that verse, because indeed that one-way ticket, not to come cutting your return ticket. We are going home. This is the whole point. It is a homeward journey. It is reality. And Srila Gurudev saying, if this was not the reality, I would be the first person to leave. Like that. For me, I cannot tolerate imitation or anything. And this way, we get so many assurances from those who know, those who have that in their hand. And Srila Gurudev, exemplary, you know, Das Anu Das, the servant of Srila Guru Maharaj.
Yeah,
Well,
it's so noble and exciting. I actually think that's the thing, is to think of spiritual life as this noble journey that's actually your own innate courage, right? Because what's stopping you? Why do you have a return ticket? It just means you have a plan B in case it doesn't work, right? So you're saying like Abhaya Charana Ravindare, right? You're saying if I can worship the feet of the son of Nanda, what the sages are expressing is that there is a world that's fearless. There's consciousness that's fearless. And it means wherever I'm going, I want to go towards you, and wherever that is, it's good for me. And I've stopped like with all of my like kind of strange small plans that have to do with like fortifying myself in a really kind of small bubble. And you're saying, yes, and there is a world of people that are courageous and they don't have a return ticket and they are going for one thing and one thing alone. And it's actually like Guru Maharaj kind of expresses those sentences in so many poetic ways. And it is nice to know, yes, there is actually an ideal and it's worth everything and more. And in fact, that return ticket that you think was your safety, that's like a bag of stones that's weighing you down. That's what a false shelter means. Like for sure it's going to be gone. That means it will betray you. At some point in time, the false shelters betray you, right? Like the youth, the power, the beauty, all the wealth ever gained, all those things are false shelters, and we think we'll be safe in them. And anyways, it's like that idea I find quite wonderful and attractive. This idea that spiritual life is an adventure. And that it is your whole everything expressed, and what will come back is something that you can't predict, and it's reciprocal because everything is alive, and it's much more beautiful than the world that you can create in your selfish kind of plans. So anyways,
and as Srila Guru Maharaj said, the greatest adventure.
And that name of Krishna, right? Urukrama, the great adventurer. right? The Lord himself loves a good story and a good adventure and a good plot. And he's, you know, reciprocating with that heart feeling of his devotees. And it's, you know, creating fresh movements for everything and everyone that's involved. And it's so amazing that there's a known name of the infinite where he particularly is called the adventurer.
And I also,
Urukrama. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Urukrama.
I also very much like that word that Rai Kishore is just using about noble. And of Maheshwari Devi, if there's anything, Guru Maharaj used this word to describe Srimati Radharani. Is her nature so noble, so self-sacrificing, so self-giving, self-forgetful that it, you know, it's so beautiful, so noble, so you know, wonderful that Krishna is thinking, this is the most wonderful thing ever. I want to know what that is. So she is devotion personified. She is devotion. All devotion is with her. And so Krishna himself is saying, I want that treasure of devotion. And then, of course, Mahaprabhu is there. But that word, dignified, Guru Maharaj said, dignified and noble. I think those two words are very important for us to remember whenever we are thinking of, we hear her name or something like this. And of course, Mahaprabhu is distributing all of those things through the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But I like those two words, I think, are very important for us. And to know what nobility is only, again, as I was saying, that adventure, that is toward devotion, the most wonderful thing, worshipable by the Supreme Lord himself.
Jai. And also those words that Srila Gurudev used in, if there is anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this. Then remember that Srila Gurudev there also, these words of, with humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one can maintain their devotional mood. Just again, I mean, on this idea of words, what is being said. No one can maintain their devotional mood without those qualities. And with these qualities, everyone can proceed very easily to their spiritual destiny. And so that's quite ordinary English. Everyone can proceed easily, and no one can maintain their devotional mood. These things very clearly from Gurudev, what he wanted to express. And now we've got this nobility and dignity of this path and of our home, Sri Vrindavan.
Very difficult to be tolerant. And there's some, I think Gurudev was very much, the humility, okay, but tolerance, not very, but I think that when we're patient with something that's coming toward me that is very difficult for me to tolerate, sometimes, I mean, Krishna arranges it, we know that thing will keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, until I wait. I learn to wait, and then something gets revealed that what we thought was intolerable was 100% in my own self. That's a very beautiful lesson. And they'll come again and again. Krishna doesn't really give up on us very easily. But just wait, just waiting, not to react, but just wait. And remember that the Lord is sending these circumstances to me on purpose. And then suddenly there can be a change in the way we see something. And we think, oh my goodness, I could have lost my opportunity to be kind, to be understanding, or to bow down when I should have, because I was reacting. So I think it's very important, Guru Maharaj would say, wait, and another thing, smile. Just wait and let that change, knowing that the Lord is behind these things I can't tolerate. And he can change us in ways that we didn't know. We couldn't have known that that was the lesson. It's not always what we think. It's not always that if I tolerate this, then this is what it's going to be like. We don't know what it's going to be like. Krishna has a plan, and things can come to us in a way that we could never know or expect. The tolerance is very important.
So Shilekadidi, on this point, we have a festival to get off the ground, and we've got our some of the key players right here. And so we're just about to put heads together and try to do something good. And we're just expecting you and all the Lindbergh tribe to arrive on a special flight at any moment. Look, there's another devotee quietly here behind me. Abhinava Sundarabhu crept in quietly. So anyway, dear devotees, we'll meet you all in a few days' time. Keep in touch with the links that are there in the chat box that have been put by Leela Moy Prabhu. And let us all continue in devotional practice, keeping our basics. Dandavat, Govinda, Govinda.
No.
Yeah, Vinodini joined from the Sweet Lake City devotee ashram. Just see. Okay, dear ones, we're going to continue. You also continue. And super to see everybody here on Zoom, on Facebook, in the recorded version, and here in person. Multitudes of devotees, hundreds and thousands. All right. We'll be in touch again soon with my repeated obeisances.
Dandavat.
Bhakti-kalpatarubhyascha, kripa-sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Shri Bhaktivinoda Matsu Maharaj ki jai.
Very naughty devotees trying to make us tolerant. Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki jai, all the present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari. Dandavad dear devotees. See you
Dandavat.
soon. Govinda Govinda.